We've got Howard Dean, Kevin Madden, and Mort Zuckerman. You know, Kevin Madden, I want to go to you. There's another story outside of New Hampshire that's going to enter into this debate, and that is Bill Daley, the so-called pro-business moderate Democrat, has left the White House, has left as Obama's chief of staff. Kevin, does that signal to you, once and for all, finally, if you needed any more signaling, President Obama is going to run a left-wing, populist, anti-business, anti-success campaign? Is there any doubt in your mind now with the departure of the moderate Bill Daley?
No, there's not. Look, I think that is an exclamation point on the argument that this is an administration that looks towards business with a very punitive viewpoint. It's also one that is very divisive. At a time where the economy really needs encouragement, it really needs a president who's going to provide a vision and lead the way in the right direction so that we're getting back to creating more jobs, that businesses big and small are flourishing. We're going to need someone who's going to be able to encourage that. And what you're seeing is a president who instead is going to be very divisive, who's going to try and turn classes against each other. And I think that's why you're going to see Governor Romney's message resonate, because he wants people of all income levels and businesses big and small to flourish. And that's what's going to help put the economy back on track. And that's going to be the choice that we're going to be facing in this election.
All right, Howard Dean, I want you to respond to what you heard Kevin Madden say, and also the departure of Bill Daley. To me, that signals a populist left-wing campaign from the White House that is destined to lose in the United States.
I think this is nonsense. First of all, I think the Republican Party has been branded with obstructionism and divisiveness, so of course Kevin's going to say that about the Democrats as a matter of spin. There aren't many people in America who believe that Barack Obama is the one that's dividing people. Secondly, Bill Daley left for personal reasons. I like Bill Daley a lot, and I think he was a great influence on the White House. I think he just got tired of the Washington game. It's an ugly, ridiculous game. He went down and spent Christmas with his grandchildren, and he asked himself, why am I doing what I'm doing? I'm going to spend this time with my grandchildren. I don't have that much time, and I want to spend it with my grandchildren and my family. So I won't make anything political out of that. And I, frankly, honestly, I truly believe that Barack Obama is going to win re-election.
Well, but Mort Zuckerman, all right, Howard put the best spin on it he could, but the reason Bill Daley left is because he was pushed out before, and essentially he sees that this is going to be a left-wing campaign. Bill Daley's not really a left-wing guy. Now, Mort, I know you think that Romney can win. What should Romney emphasize? Let's start with his speech tonight. If he wins, what should he say, Mort? What should his message be to get the center-right and the independents on his team?
Well, I think he has to really focus on the main issue facing the country, which is the economy and jobs. And what he's basically got to say is, look, we have probably 5.8 million fewer people working today than we did when the administration came into power. We elect a president to solve the problems, not to blame other people. He'll have his 4 years. Obama's had his 4 years to try and solve the problem. He hasn't solved the problem. It's time you gave it to somebody else who can solve the problem. And he's got to present himself as somebody who can do that. He's got credibility on that issue more than on any other issue. And that seems to me the one he has to hammer away at. And that's the one that seems to me is the winning issue.
And Mort, specifically, I just want to get you one quickie here. Specifically, give me an issue that you think Mitt Romney needs to improve on to establish his bona fides as clear presidential electability timber.
Are you asking? Oh, no, listen, I think
Mort,
that, frankly, the issue that he has to deal with, it seems to me, in some serious way, is how he's going to handle foreign policy in a responsible way. This isn't something that he has been involved with. It is national security is an important part of the role of the president, and he's got to do enough in that so that nobody starts to get nervous about his ability to handle that issue. I don't think this is an insurmountable challenge for him, but this seems to me to be the other major issue that any president is going to be weighed upon.
All right, and Kevin Madden, to you. I talked to Governor Tim Pawlenty about the possibility of bolder economic growth message from Mitt Romney, from your guy. On Saturday night at the debate, he seemed to indicate he favored for the first time the Bowles-Simpson tax reform plan and the tax deductions that go with it. Do you expect a bolder Mitt Romney in the weeks ahead?
Well, first, let me reject the premise of your question. I think he's been very bold in this portion of the campaign, but I do agree with Governor Pawlenty that you're going to see that Governor Romney looks at the economic debate and his plan that he put together as a starting point. It's a very good starting point. He wants to see taxes flatter. He wants to see taxes lower. He wants to do what he can to help encourage the middle class growth, and he wants to see what he can to do to open new markets for the American economy. And as we go through this campaign, you're going to see a candidate who really does reach across the divide and talk about what he can do specifically to help put certainty back into the economy so that all income levels, businesses big and small, can again flourish in the country and we can put America back to work.
You know, Howard Dean, we had a smart investor on the show last night, and he made an interesting observation or two. He said the dollar is rising because the market likes Mitt Romney. And he made this comparison, and I want to get your take on this. It's pretty clever. He said Romney is half Reagan and half Clinton. No Obama, half Reagan and half Clinton. What's your thought on that, Governor Howard Dean?
I don't see any Clinton, and I don't see a lot of Reagan. Reagan raised taxes a number of times. He was a practical guy. Now, look, I think that Governor Romney's in the middle of a campaign in a very conservative party that's more conservative than he is. But, you know, you explain to me how you're going to win when you're going to veto the DREAM Act, for God's sakes. The Republicans are just branded as mean people. That's probably not fair, but that is their brand. And I don't think he's going to inspire much confidence that he's going to be the president of all the people. He cares deeply about people who make $1 million a year, and there's not much evidence to the contrary. So what he needs to do is get through this primary season and then begin to turn to so he can actually talk to most Americans. Right now he's talking to a very tiny handful of very conservative Americans who are not like the rest of Americans.
All right, I got to get out of here. I don't know. Republicans are mean people, Howard Dean. We'll have to revisit that hypothesis over time.
I didn't say they were. I said that was their brand, and that's what they've done.
Yes, that was their brand.
Season.
Governor Howard Dean, thank you. Kevin Madden, thanks very much. Mort Zuckerman, as always. Coming up on Kudlow, optimistic outlooks from several companies propelled today's stock market momentum higher. So, my mantra continues. I'm a bull. I still believe stocks are ridiculously cheap. One question. Does the market want Mitt Romney? We will pursue that on election night here in Manchester, New Hampshire.